Now, the presiding officer, when an organization's president runs the organization's meetings, he or she serves as presiding officer rather than as the president. So why is that important? The president may have a personal opinion. A presiding officer is not allowed to have a personal opinion. Because if the person in the chair expresses a personal opinion, and you're in the audience and you have a different opinion, there's a presumption already that the chair is against you. So the chair has to be very, very careful in not expressing personal opinions. The chair can give you facts, but cannot express opinions. And I know that's very different than a lot of meetings you've been to. There's a provision that says if the chair wants to express an opinion, the presiding officer has to come out of the chair, go sit in the audience, maybe let the vice president preside. But that's dangerous, because whenever that happens, the members then have to ask themselves, I wonder how many other times the chair had an opinion and didn't have the decency to get out of the chair. So being a presiding officer is very, very difficult, because you have to try to keep yourself out of the action and just be equal and fair with everybody coming before you, like a judge. The presiding officer must be impartial and fair and must not express any personal opinion while in the chair. There's also another person usually in the front. That's the parliamentarian. The parliamentarian is a consultant, commonly a professional, and most of our parliamentarians are not professional, and that's a problem, who advises the president and other officers on matters of parliamentary procedure. One mistake we very often make in organizations, we assume that lawyers know procedure. Lawyers know courtroom procedure. Parliamentary procedure is a totally different thing. Most lawyers know no parliamentary procedure, but they have been taught how to bogart. So what they don't know, they'll make up. So if you can get a professional parliamentarian, somebody who at least has studied parliamentary procedure, you're a lot better off than putting a lawyer in the position of parliamentarian. The parliamentarian's role during a meeting is purely advisory and consultative. Since parliamentary law gives the chair alone the power to rule on questions of order or to answer parliamentary inquiries. And the chair can be reversed by the body. The parliamentarian cannot, because the parliamentarian is not supposed to even be heard by the body. The parliamentarian is the counsel to the chair, helping the chair stay on point as to what's going on. I was in a meeting one time when the parliamentarian and the chair disagreed. The parliamentarian ruled one way, the chair ruled another way. And those of us who were members had to sit there in the audience and wait while we went outside and had a fist fight. I don't recall who was right, but I recall who had won the fist fight, and that's what we followed. Now, you've already had a meeting here, and the order of business that your president used is the standard order of business. You have the call to order, which is not a part of the business, it's just a call to order. The first thing is the minutes. Then you have reports of officers, boards, and committees, reports of special committees, special orders, which are things that you've assigned to take place at a certain time that can interrupt other ongoing business, unfinished business, and new business. And you notice on the side there's a little code, MRSSUN. Parliamentarians use that code, that mnemonic code, to help them remember the order of those things. M for minutes, R for reports, S for special committees, S for special orders, U for unfinished business, and N for new business. You remember Mrs. Sun in your mind, you keep all the business in your mind. Now, the process. A recognized participant makes a motion. That means the chair has to recognize you before you speak. In almost all cases, there are some cases where you do not have to be recognized. Those are emergency cases. But in regular cases, you must be recognized before you can speak. A motion is made, a motion is seconded. I noticed you were a little nervous about making motions a while ago. Hopefully we'll cure that today. The motion is stated by the chair. There is discussion. The chair puts the motion to a vote. The chair states the result of the vote. It's very straightforward, very simple, not very difficult. Now, in terms of motions, an original main motion is a motion that introduces a brand new subject of a substantive nature. An incidental main motion poses an action or procedure incidental or related to the business of the assembly or is past or future action. Let me give you an example. Someone stands up and makes a motion that we have a party Saturday night. If we've not been talking about having a party Saturday night, that's a new thought, a new matter of substance. Now, if that motion has been discussed and somebody else stands up and says, well, I think the party should be from 9 o'clock to 2 a.m. That's an incidental main motion. It's incidental to the thing that came before it. It doesn't introduce a new thought, it just helps to clarify something you're already talking about. So a main motion is a new thought. Incidental main motion is a motion that comes about that's incidental or related to the one you already discussed. Privileged motions are the highest class of motions. They do not relate to any pending main motion. Privileged motions relate to special matters of immediate importance, which without debate are allowed to interrupt the consideration of anything else. And subsidiary motions are motions that assist the assembly in treating or disposing of a main motion. They always apply to another motion. They can be applied to any main motion. They fit into an order of precedence. They may be made from the time that a main motion is stated by the chair until a vote is put to the assembly on the main motion by the chair. That means if there's a main motion before the body and has not been voted on, you can bring forth a subsidiary motion, which is not going to handle the main motion. Now, there are 13 primary motions. The first 5 are privileged motions. And once again, there's a little code, bar code. Fixed times in which adjourn, recess, raise a question of privilege, or call for the orders of the day. Parliamentarians use that little code to help them remember the order. And there are 7 subsidiary motions. And once again, it's LP, LP, CAP. And those are the codes to help you remember the 7 subsidiary motions. And they rank in that order. The ones, if a motion is on top of another motion, it's more important than another motion, and it can be made when the lower motion is already before the body. If a motion is under another motion, it cannot be made when the motion above it is before the body.